Hello everyone, this is my video submission for task D1 of SIT112 Introduction to Data Analysis, Introduction to Artificial Intelligence and Data Science Unit. My name is Gurnur Singh and my student ID number is S2239559 In this task, what we had to do is do a data analysis by collecting the data from YouTube via the 4 news channels on a specific topic that is viral throughout the social media. And here you can see the instructions are mentioned on how this data can be first extracted and put into CSV files like this, and then further analyzed. So first of all, what we have to do is actually create an API, and then API had to be used to extract the data. And here you guys can see that an API was created. The developer key was mentioned along with service name YouTube version, and this will be further used in this collect file in order to get the data. First thing that you see in the file is import section, and you guys can see that it's mentioned here that all these library needs to be imported so that analysis can be carried out. So I'll just run through this again in order to show. And because I've already done this, so it says here package stop words is already up to date, which means that we have all the libraries and data in general that we need for the analysis. Afterwards, we get into the settings sections, and here you guys can see that it's mentioned here, the timeline I have mentioned here. I'll just change it because it's not correct. Yeah. So the timeline for elections, because my topic was Australian election 2025. So this is the timeline that needs to be there. And these are the 4 keywords that I will be using for analysis. Further in this section, you can see that the 4 channel names are mentioned as well. That is Fox News, BBC News, CNN, and MSNBC, along with the channel IDs. And these will be your 4 main sources for the analysis of videos and comments, along with likes. Further, you can see that we get into the functions, and these functions will be used to get the CSV file data. First one is load credentials, and what this one does is basically get this credentials file into order and get the developer key as well for us. Afterwards, you can see we have a function to extract the channel ID and channel title of a sample video. Further, now it gets the videos from the channel, and then you have a function to retrieve the comment for a list of videos. What actually I will also do is run through these again just to make sure there's no error. And yeah, read the comments. Now, afterwards, what we do is clean the data, and I'll get into this one to detail later. But as you guys can see, I'll just call the functions here first and get the data into the files that we need. You guys can see now it has started collecting videos, collecting comments, and it's complete now. And what we get is these CSV files, the data files that we need to analyze. Now, afterwards, I get into my D1 file here. And as you guys can see, I first of all imported this settings section here, and I made the change to, so the number of videos is max videos is not 20, because that is the amount that we can extract through the API one at a time. So yeah, the timeline is the same, the number of channels is same, the channel IDs are same. Yeah, afterwards we have the import section again. I'll just run this and this as well. Putting credentials. It says package stop is already up to date. And then you have the functions that we created earlier in order to get the data. Those credentials, getting the channels information. You can see this takes a video ID and YouTube object and returns the video's channel ID. So this specifically helps to get the video and channel ID. And then after you get the channel ID, you're getting videos from the channel, and get channel videos function is used for that, obviously. Afterwards, I get into comments. So this function is gonna help to get the comments. And yeah, here all the functions are called, and yeah, oh, it says name potential is not defined. I think I missed running something out here. Let's see. So yeah, basically what I did was I didn't run any of the functions that were mentioned earlier, and that's why it had some issues. But you guys can see here that it started collecting the videos from channels and comments as well. And afterwards, we get into cleaning and preparing the data. And this section in particular is a bit complicated, but important as well. But I'll go through this and you will get to see. First of all, yeah, the data is red here. So the videos are, so read CSV file, basically what it does is get the videos here that we need to clean. Afterwards, the video title is cleaned. As you guys can see, all these characters like digits or subtitles or slash, comma, or anything that's not required in the title, it's removed and cleaned for us. And same, you can see that there's a x.lower function here. So because so basically it's a lowercase function that helps to convert all the titles or names that are mentioned in lowercase rather than in uppercase. And then afterwards, the cleaning is done. Like all the slash or unrequired characters are removed after everything is converted into lowercase. The file is saved in form of a CSV like this. And same is done for the comments as well. You guys can see here that any of the unrequired characters are removed. It's converted into lowercase, and then it's saved into this CSV file via the function. Afterwards, that you can see that there are two more functions used here. First one is that to drop the duplicates. So let's say if if two videos have the same name, or in case one video copies the name from another one, it's removed because it's a duplicate name and it will cause problems within the data analysis. And further, so yeah, that's what it's done. Any of the comments that are not in English, they are removed from the data set as well. So yeah, this was the whole data cleaning process that we went through. Afterwards, the data is prepared and we can get into the analysis. So the first thing here we see is that we have to choose two questions from section 1. That is analyze the videos and comments. And then further, we have to choose one question from section 2 here. And so we'll get into it as well. So the first question was that I have to compare the distribution of number of views, likes, and comments for the videos. And in order to do that, a visualization technique had to be used. So that's what I did here. As you can see that the figures and axes are mentioned for the subplots, and histograms are used in order to analyze this through a visualization technique. And you guys can see here, I mentioned the colors that for the first one, it will be sky blue, second one will be light green, third one will be light coral. And the axes are mentioned as well. That will set the X and Y axis of the histogram respectfully. And here's the layout of the data. The first thing that you guys can see here is that the histogram is right skew. And what it does imply that the majority of the the majority of the videos had a low view count. And it further suggested that only some of the videos that were created by these channels went viral on YouTube. And same can be said for likes and comment count as well. The second observation that I made from this analysis was that there were videos which had a high viewership, but then the engagement within these videos was quite less as well. So this was sort of an exception that we have for some of the videos, but the overall observation is that the most of videos had a low view count and comment count as well. Further, we look into the second question here. And it says, is there so yeah, in this question, we have to do is see if there's a relationship between the length of comments and of the video or and the like it gets. And in order to do that, guys can see here. First of all, the average length of comment per video was calculated. And then if there was a video that did not have any comments, it was removed as well. And afterwards, a scatter plot was used in order to present the data. And you guys can see that there's not much of a clear analysis here, because this scatter plot did reveal that there's a random distribution of points here. And so that does imply that there's no clear relationship between the average length of comments on a video and the likes it gets. However, we can do observe that there is one outlier here, as you guys can see, which has more than 2,200 likes. And the number of characters of the comment is between 160 and 180. But since this is an exception, we can say that a particular strategy was used in order to get the result from the audience. So more engagement can be made. But yeah, overall, there's no relationship here between the average length of comments and the likes it gets. Afterwards, I moved on to the second section here. And this one is, so within this question, we had to analyze that how does average length of comments on a video vary with its duration? And in order to analyze that, again, I used a scatter plot. And you guys can see here, the first observation that I made was that the length of the comments was directly proportional to the duration of videos. So if so basically what it meant was that longer the form of content, the audience was urged to engage more and provide more of their views. So yeah, so if so there's a direct proportion between the duration of videos and the length of the comments. However, I did make one more observation, which was my second observation, and that was that shorter videos had more comments than longer videos. And the reason for that is that short form content is easier to react to, and that's why it gets more engagement within the audience as opposed to the long form content. So yeah, this was the chosen question from section 2. And overall, this was my video submission for D1. I did get an error in collect file here, but that was basically because I didn't run all the code properly. So yeah, I got over it easily. And hence overall, this is my video submission for D1. Thank you.